Hi Capricorn. Welcome to your October 2017 tarot reading with Oracle if necessary. Just a quick astrological overview. Your ruling planet Saturn is in the sign of Sagittarius, or the constellation of Sagittarius, um, which is an expansive energy. This is sort of pushing the boundaries of what Saturn normally is, which is the manifested world, the three-dimensional five senses world. When it's in Jupiter ruled by, not Jupiter, sorry, Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. This is an expansive energy. Sagittarius is one that likes to travel, to learn, to find the truth, to get to the heart of the matter. They also like to have fun and to party. Jupiter's kind of a fun, expansive planet, so he's kind of the yes god, right? Saturn can be the no god, just based upon you know, the limitations of the physical world. But with Saturn in that sign, there's a little bit more flexibility. Now, your ruling planet, Jupiter, has just gone from Libra to the constellation of Scorpio. Scorpio is kind of like the underworld. This is the eighth house. This is things that aren't, they're thought about, obviously. They motivate us, definitely. But they are things that aren't normally brought up in conversation, polite conversation. So things like death, sex, um, early childhood motivations, um, things you kind of push in the background, shadow stuff, important stuff. This is the deep stuff. This is the stuff you need for growth. And when Jupiter, kind of that happy, expansive energy, starts getting self-reflective in the underworld like that, things change, digs things up. Think of it as mining through your emotional crap. Okay. Other things going on, as they have been for a while. North Node is, for the most part, retrograde, still in the constellation of Leo. This again is our collective soul's growth to move toward the high octave of Leo. When it's in retrograde, with the exception of about 4 days where it's direct, when it's in retrograde, you're looking at considering old ways of thinking about things, old ways of viewing things, where we might have employed the low octave of Leo, which is a belligerent, arrogant, narcissistic, egotistical, self-centered, um, blustery, braggart-like energy. Uh, when we're in retrograde, we're looking at that tendency in ourselves collectively. Where do we have a tendency to do that? Where do we have a tendency to push our agenda, our lineage, our ideas, our religion, etc., politics, onto someone else? Uh, Also, it's an opportunity to look at the South Node, which is what we came into this incarnation collectively with, which is the Aquarian mentality. Aquarian mentality is very much about a collectivism. So what we're trying to do here, basically, we understand collectivism. We're trying to understand how to express the self on the high octave of Leo, which is love from the heart, um, creativity, self-expression, joy, a real from the heart chakra, from Tiferet, joy. Um, we are learning to do that on the high octave. Um, so still a good time to be looking at the way we used to do things, the way we did think about things, and now how we're actually planning on asserting the self without the low octave of Leo. What else have we got? Mercury was in Libra and will be moving into Scorpio right around the 18th. We have a new moon in Libra on the 19th. Venus is in Libra, home sign. Mars will be following shortly. Uranus is still in retrograde in Aries. Neptune is still retrograde in Pisces, as is Chiron. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so let's get into your reading. Going to be using the Thoth or Tahuti deck. I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread for Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, cardinal sign, meaning a self-starter, initiative taker, first to do something, pioneer earth sign, very practical. Motto is I use. Necessarily in a bad way, just making use of the resources that you have, but very much about the physical world. And it is the world of the 10th house, which is PR, status in the world, legacy, how someone's viewed, someone's reputation, often career. But this is about how you are perceived in the world. One more. So for October 2017, Holy Hecate, Cosmic Soul. What does Capricorn need to know for October 2017? October being the beginning really of fall, although with the weather you'd never know it. The time of whoa, thank you. What do we got here? Going into some kind of transformation, death in reverse, central issue. Crossing or affecting, this is the energy around it, is the Empress in reverse, the Venus card, the female card in reverse. Foundation, Temperance. Recent past, another reversal card. So we've got 1, 2, 3 major arcana so far. So big life stuff, important stuff, something out of your control. You don't have control over this. This is going to happen. This has to happen in this incarnation for your soul progression. Swiftness, the 8 of Wands in reverse. It's a hot, fiery energy on the low octave. This would be Mercury in Sagittarius. So perhaps a hasty energy on your mind is science in reverse. A lot of reversals here. It looks like it's a time of slowing down and learning something. Yeah. Near future. Princess of Swords, Page of Swords. Some kind of message coming in. All right, so there's some transformation that has been slowed down. This is the Pluto energy, and the Hebrew letter attribution is Nun, fish, basically. The Scorpio card, death, is not, it can be about a physical death, but what we're really talking about here is a transformation of some kind. And really physical death is a transformation. But I think really we're talking about here some kind of a, with the mother card, Empress, in reverse. And her Hebrew letter attribution is Daleth, which is a door. And she is ultimately the door into manifested world. Birth, the womb. What we're looking at here, and actually this would make sense with Pluto being in Capricorn, Pluto the ruling planet of Scorpio. Scorpio is the death card, and the Empress being a maternal figure. I think we're working out something with our mother, something our mother taught us, and that's kind of a theme. Pluto having been retrograde in the sign of Capricorn in your constellation for so long, up until the end of last month, really, we've been revisiting old family issues, not necessarily bad or good, but things that have to do with our initial upbringing, those formative years, right? And apparently something to do with the mother is happening. So the foundation for this has been temperance. Temperance is well, the Hebrew attribution is samech, but basically it's a prop, it's an art form. And basically what it means, it's kind of like the alchemical marriage, or the blending of things, the taking of two different things to make a new thing. See that this person's ultimately, he or she, actually it's an androgyne, a perfect blend, right, of two genders, is blending water and fire and other masculine and feminine elements, opposing elements, to create something new. That's really the alchemy. That's the lead to gold concept, is moving on to that higher level spiritually, psychologically and spiritually. and they are definitely linked. And it's based on some kind of misfired movement in the past, some kind of concept. Because it's Mercury and Sag, which are very much about thought processes, I'm thinking what we're looking at here is you are taking, rightly so, the time and the space and the resources that you need, which we are good at. I'm a Capricorn as well. Capricorn is very good at using the resources that they have to create something else, and we're doing that correctly, in a balanced way, to make a transformation happen. So we're actually looking slowly. The opposite of swiftness, obviously, would be slowness. And the tendency, of course, would be about mental processes. I think we're revisiting something we learned in childhood. On our mind is science in reverse. Science is 6. It's the 6 of Swords. There's the Rosicrucian cross, which we know is the sphere, not the sphere, excuse me, the cube, which is the one of the 5 Platonic solids, building blocks of manifestation. Excuse me. This is Mercury in Aquarius, so more mental energy. Something about the past, or something about a connection or a relationship with the mother, with a maternal figure, has been skewed, incomplete. It has been, there's something you were taught, I'm guessing spiritually, or perhaps about your self-worth or your place in the world. And this may have to do with, there's a large portion of the population alive today that have Pluto placement in Virgo. I'm one of those. And this generally means that there is a connection with the mother. We are revisiting what the mother taught us through action and through words. So, and there must have been something about what we were taught. This is about ourself, our transformation. We're on the precipice of making a huge stride here, Capricorn, but something about the past, something about what we were taught was not accurate, in fact, and we're still carrying that to this day. So in the near future, we're looking at messages that are going to clear up why we've held this belief so long. It will illuminate how inaccurate this belief is. And then we'll be taking this calm energy of temperance, this calm energy of using the tools and resources that we have to create something new, the transformation that we want. And we're going to revisit what we were taught about ourselves, our place in the world, humanity as a whole, and what it means to express the self in the world through career, through image, our place. In other words, our right to be here. I hope that makes sense. Capricorn, the right to be here. And because we're in the 10th house, we're talking about how we're viewed by other people, our image, our public self, and we'll be getting a message and an understanding of why this was taught to us, because it was taught to our mother, and through whatever action or words that were said to us that had such a formative impact on us. We're transforming something. And obviously the mother is a very important figure. If she abandoned us or let us, give us up for adoption, or that, even that abandonment is an action. It is something, it has an impact, believe me. And we're revisiting that so we can understand our place in the world, our value in the world. Who are we? What are we in comparison to our brethren? Okay, so let's find a little bit more here. The moon. So, and that kind of makes sense here. We're kind of not getting the whole story. We're not getting the whole picture here. Others see us that we're in a bad spot. We haven't been given a fair deal. Things haven't been working in our favor. Another major arcana. We've got a lot of major arcana here. So this is important stuff for us, Capricorn. This is important stuff for us. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this spread so far. Major arcana cards, karmic cards, meaning This has to happen. So write it out. Take the time and learn it. Continue doing what we're doing. Worst fear or greatest hope is lust in reverse, the Leonian card in reverse. That we are, so yeah, I think this is what's coming through a lot. It's part of our karmic lesson here, Capricorn. Not all necessarily, but some. And I think this applies to me too. Our karmic lesson here is to take on the self, that very subtle balance of self-assertion, self-awareness, healthy self-image without it going to the low octave of Leo, which is, well, the Hebrew attribution for Leo is Teth, and that is about strength, right? The strength card, it's about, oh gosh, might. And that is a low octave of Leo, being tyrant-like. So we're afraid that we're going to be exhibiting some kind of an image. If we come into ourselves completely in a balanced way, if we come into the knowledge of ourselves as just as good as everyone else and worthy of appreciation for who we are, not even what we do, but just who we are as a person, that if we appreciate ourselves as well, we're going to be embracing some low octave, self-centered, selfish, narcissistic, braggart type of air. And it's just a fear. It does not need to be that way. You can have a healthy self-image without, sort of devolving to this low octave, narcissistic, braggart type of energy. And it sounds like I'm having a go at Leo. I'm totally not. Leo's great. We are collectively working to the high octave of Leo, but every sign has a low octave. Capricorn can be miserly, stuck, and really fucking boring. Leo is very expansive, and so on the low octave, that can mean pushing the will on everybody. Remember, your Leo, yours is I will, and if you push your will on everyone else in a low octave, then we're talking about kind of a tyrant mentality. That's our fear. We don't want that. But as long as we can look at this from a balanced perspective, the foundation for all of this is balance. So that means patience. Final outcome. The moon, the star, excuse me. Wow. That is it. So Capricorn, there is something going on outside of your control. Something going on that has to happen in this incarnation. It's a lesson that has to happen. The star is another major arcana. He is the Hebrew attribution, and this is a fence, basically a hurdle. We will have overcome a hurdle. The star card is a very beautiful and happy card. It has to do with self-care. It has to do with self-love. It has to do with health, with beauty, with expression of love, but with a balance. If you look at this card, just very much like the Temperance card, this person, which I do not believe is an androgyne, well, actually, this one is an androgyne as well, yeah, and the star card is an androgyne, which is a perfect blend. The androgyne is pouring one energy into the other cup, just like this one is pouring one energy from one cup into it and another energy from another cup into a common bowl to create something new. The star is doing the same thing. It's a balance. So what we're going to come out, I don't even think this needs any kind of clarification. Whatever we're learning about what our mother taught us about ourselves in the world, if we keep this balance in our search for the messages and understanding of why it's happening, and this has to happen. This is something that needs to happen. The star card is the ultimate goal, which again is a balanced, healthy, not a bloated ego, but a healthy, self-nurturing and other nurturing energy, that of the star, an Aquarian energy, which is a very balanced energy. So it's interesting that the fear is the low octave of Leo, which is something that we're trying to avoid as we move collectively, right? And the star card is the Aquarian energy, which we collectively are moving away from. We have a complete understanding of. So we're going to come into basically we're moving towards some kind of a self-image here. a healthy self-image. We're afraid it's going to be unhealthy and self-serving and tyrannical. But actually the outcome, as long as we remain in a balanced and logical, using all of our resources to understand and process what we were taught versus what is reality, we will come to an understanding. Right now it seems hidden. People around us feel like we're getting a raw deal, or we were given a raw deal, but remember, we ultimately chose this incarnation. Sorry guys, this is going long. But keep focus on balance, on using all things to understand and process what was taught to us. And we will come out in a balanced situation again with the star card as the ultimate outcome. And that ultimate outcome is 10th house stuff, self-image, how we present ourselves in the world. And that's all based on what we were taught by our mother. I hope this helped. This actually helped me quite a bit. And I'm a Capricorn with some other cardinal. I was born under a cardinal cross, so that's a lot of pushing and pulling from different directions. So it helped me a lot. I hope it helps other Capricorns a lot, cardinal signs, initiators. Whatever mom taught us, whether good or bad, we can get a good, healthy, balanced grip on it using the right tools, you know, getting the truth, and come to this outcome, which is a very healthy, positive outcome. All right, Capricorn, thank you so much for your time. Apologies this went so long. Enjoy your month, the rest of your month. Enjoy the new moon coming up. If you would like a personal reading, please give me an email at the email address in the description box below the video. That's memememes@hotmail.com. Elsewise, please leave a message. I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you next month. Take care, Capricorn.